Welcome to Trump Junkies podcast. I am at Lazy Meatball. Let's talk about Trump derangement syndrome. It's definitely real. It's alive. And it's in full force in Hollywood. Cher, a little while ago, tweeted about how she wanted Trump raped in prison. A boy toy of Big Bubba, she said. And then most recently she said that she thought that Trump will put gays in internment camps. I'm not sure exactly where she's getting her information. CNN, liberal magazines, I don't know. But the facts are this. I'm just going to list them. He's the first president to go into office in support of gay marriage. The very first. He listed LGBTQ as a goal to get more acceptance in his acceptance speech for presidency. He celebrated Gay Pride Month. He started a global initiative to legalize gay marriage. Does this sound like a president who wants to put gays in internment camps? I just don't get it. She is completely deranged. She hates this man so much. Her daughter, I'm sorry, is it son now? Chaz, yes, son. Her son, we have a president who's on board, fully supportive of that lifestyle, and she's still bashing him. Hillary Clinton wasn't for gays. She changed her tune. She wasn't for gay marriage. If you go back and look at any of her speeches, any of her interviews from back in the day, 20 years ago, she wasn't for gay marriage. 10 years ago, she wasn't for gay marriage. And when she was running against Trump, yes, she all of a sudden was. So she just likes to say what people want to hear. Anyway, you'd think that someone who is right in that movement, that lifestyle, someone very close to them, right? Your own daughter, your own son. You have the first president who is supportive, and she still hates him. I just don't get it. And then you have the other spectrum, Bette Midler. She's just all around numbnuts, dumb. She actually believed a meme. This meme, I'm sure you've all seen it, says, if I were to run, this is Trump saying this apparently in this meme, right? If I were to run, I'd run as a Republican. They're the dumbest group of voters in the country. They love anything on Fox News. I could lie and they'd still eat it up. I bet my numbers would be terrific. Okay, that's a fake meme made by libtards. And Bette Midler said, it sure did sound like him. I apologize. This quote turns out to be a fake from way back in 2015, 2016. Don't know how I missed it, but it sounds so much like him that I believed it was true. That's what she said. Sounds nothing like him. He's been very consistent on his views. It does, however, sound exactly what the fake news wants him to sound like, what schools preach that he sounds like, and what every liberal paying absolutely no attention to the real news imagines what he sounds like. And then you have her consistency of tweeting like some of the worst tweets I've ever seen. One from October 2018. Women are the N-word of the world. What? What? Raped, beaten, enslaved, married off, worked like dumb animals, denied education and inheritance, enduring the pain and danger of childbirth and life in silence for thousands of years. They are the most disrespected creatures on earth. So she's likening all women to a very derogatory word used for black people. That's horrible. Is this a feminist or what? I don't even understand where she's coming from. Hey, let's go back to that first sentence. Women are the N-word of the world. So she just likened all women to one of the most derogatory words you can think of. Does she hate women? I'm not sure. But everything she described in her tweet sounds exactly like what women go through in Muslim countries that are proponents of Sharia law. Raped, beaten, enslaved, married off, worked like dumb animals, denied education and inheritance. You have this whole other side. You have comedians. You have deranged liberals committing self-harm. This is some crazy stuff, folks. One lady just recently stabbed herself like 3 times in the stomach because she was, quote unquote, tired of living in Trump's country. Quote unquote. She was from Florida. She stabbed herself in the stomach with a knife, reportedly telling responding officers it was all because of President Trump. I'm tired of living in Trump's country. I'm tired of him being president, she said. Do you remember the guy who set himself on fire in front of the White House? Yeah. If you don't remember that, there was a guy who set himself on fire in front of the White House. Setting themselves on fire, stabbing themselves, poisoning themselves because they just can't believe, they can't deal. They just can't deal. They have no coping mechanisms. You can't always get what you want in life. I mean, normal people realize this, but I understand where she's coming from. She grew up with the whole everyone gets a trophy era. You know what I mean? I mean, you have like participation awards for everything now. Like recently, actually, I just saw it was like a spelling bee. And you know how usually it's like one person wins at the end because they're the spelling bee. They're the champion. They're the ones who spelled all the words right. Well, I watched this spelling bee and I saw when they gave out the awards that there was like 5 or 6 kids up there on stage all getting awards. And it's like, that's not how it's done. You get an award for being the best. And now this whole participation thing is just driving me nuts. They all got an award for the spelling bee. I just don't get that. That gives someone absolutely no motivation to become better. It gives no recognition to the best. It's like they all want to be drone robots. You know, they all have the same skills. They're all good at most things, but not the best at anything. How fun is that? I mean, I don't get it. Why don't they just nix all sports teams then too and erase the draft requirements and just let anybody play sports? You know, have Slow-Mo Joe playing baseball and basketball and football, and because everybody's good at it, right? There's nobody that's the best. It just absolutely makes no sense to me whatsoever. And you have Rashida Tlaib, yeah, or however you pronounce her name. I don't pay attention because I don't really freaking care, okay? You have her, she was trying to do that whole hunger strike, and she was encouraging people to join her in a hunger strike in protest of ICE. Like, what is this with, you know, self-mutilation, self-deprivation? It's not getting anybody anything. It's not facilitating any change. Then you have another tweet. It was really kind of crazy. This little kid, I read about him a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago. I can't remember when, but I read about him a while ago. He's this little 7-year-old boy from Texas, and he's been having this lemonade stand, and then like in the cooler weather, he has hot chocolate, and he sells it for like $2. Okay. And all the proceeds go to help Trump build the wall. This little kid is like one of the best patriots in the universe. He's already raised $22,000. Can you believe that? $22,000. That's a lot of cups of lemonade and hot chocolate. That's amazing. His name's Benton Stevens. He's from Texas, 7 years old. Okay, and then you have this guy from a Twitter user, verified, of course, at Zach Fox. He claims he's a comedian. But he basically superimposed this picture of this kid's lemonade stand in front of a truck and it looks like the guy's gonna run him over. And the Twitterverse gave that dude 100,000 likes. 100,000 likes. This is the last I checked. That was about 4 days ago. So here you have James Woods, who was banned for violence, inciting violence, and whatever, threats, making threats against people. Okay, but his tweet that he was banned for was a Ralph Waldo Emerson. And the people that he was targeting didn't exist. It was unnamed forces, unnamed shadows, the people who started the whole Russian investigation, collusion hoax thing, okay? That's who he was targeting. And those people don't exist. They weren't named. He didn't say, oh, this is towards Hillary, this is towards Comey, this is towards Mueller, whoever had hands, this is towards, the FBI agents. They weren't named yet. It was a supposed statement. And yet you have, okay, and he was banned. And yet you have this guy who is directly targeting a 7-year-old Trump supporter and saying, I'm going to run him over. This is funny. I don't think that's funny, and I don't think that tweet should still be up if James Woods' tweet was taken down. This guy should be banned too. He didn't even get suspended. It's freaking ridiculous. But, of course, he's a liberal, and he can do anything he wants on Twitter because he's a liberal. That's how it goes. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Lazy Meatball, at Smalltown Andrew. Like and subscribe to us on YouTube, magAMedia.org. Wake up to the truth. Be sure to check out our merchandise. You can find it online, magAMedia.org, under the merch tab. We have some really cool stuff from Teespring, a lot of Trump tweets, the game over, no collusion, veto, all kinds of great stuff. Support our cause, help us get to more rallies, and get something really cool for yourself. Be sure to check out the S2 Project at our website, magAMedia.org. Follow them on Twitter at S2Command. Give them a phone call at 1-877-783-7778. The S2 Project, headquarters for all Americans, because liberty must win. Check them out and join the team.